Again, making left turns, right turns, passing through intersections, railroad crossing, reading different types of signs.
No, y yo que me llevé
And
de todo lo que
again,
me dijo
listen
ayer.
to the examiner and find out exactly what you're
Porque ha
supposed to
sudado
do.
hoy. Oye, ¿tú te la palabra? Yo sí, eso te dije.
First
No,
thing
que
is
tú
getting
digo
in
que
the
sábado
vehicle.
mañana.
Make sure you enter the vehicle using two hands. What we're showing you right here is what you don't do. Don't hop in the vehicle, start the vehicle up, place it in gear, and start moving the vehicle without doing one thing first. Again, when you get in, make sure you use two hands. And one thing we forgot before was the seat belt. You are required to wear a seat belt all the time driving a tractor and trailer. So make sure you put it on before you start the engine. You will be graded on this. And again, check your mirrors real close. Make sure they are properly adjusted, just like we did when we were doing the backing. Both big mirror and the spot mirror, otherwise known as a West Coast mirror and a convex mirror. Both on the right side and on the left side of the vehicle. Remember, you will only be allowed to adjust these mirrors once. That is before you start the backing maneuvers or before you start your road test. Make sure all the time that you are watching what's in front of you. See here, we're approaching an intersection. The idea here is you'll be watching your mirrors around you, see what's in it. Proper downshifting as you approach the stop. Again, watching your mirrors. You also want to make sure that you're setting yourself up in the proper lane to make the turn. The vehicle must be within the white lines, and of course when you come to a stop, you will stop within 2 feet but not over the stop line. Check for all the traffic. When it is safe in both directions to where you're not going to inhibit anybody else's travel, make your turn. Now, when you're making your turn, make sure you do not shift the vehicle, keeping both hands on the wheel as much as possible when you make your turn. And again, checking the mirrors as you're going through the turn and once you come out of the turn. I'm showing it here with the small vehicle. We have our turn signal on. Again, make sure you are in the proper gear before you start the turn. You're not allowed to coast around these curves. Anytime the vehicle is placed in neutral and it's in motion, or if you just put the clutch in and you're in gear and coast, you will have points deducted. Once you have finished the turn, of course, make sure you cancel your turn signal, but do not cancel it until you are finished with it. When you're turning onto a 4-lane highway, a right turn, again, as you approach, you're doing your traffic checks and stop within the stop line. Place the vehicle in gear as soon as you come to a stop. You're not allowed to sit in neutral. Again, doing your traffic checks, both to the right and to the left, 2 hands on the wheel. Do your shift once you are not turning the wheel anymore. And again, make sure you use double clutching when you're doing your shifting. When you're making a lane change to the left, make sure all the traffic is clear, place your turn signal on, get into the left lane when it is safe. In this case, we're going to be making a left turn ahead, so we have our turn signal on, we're slowing down, using the brakes and downshifting, making sure we are not coasting. And again, we're going to make sure that the vehicle is between the lines. Again, when you come to a stop, make sure that you place the vehicle in gear immediately. When making a left turn, just as making a right turn, at least 100 feet, but not more than 300 feet, make sure you have your turn signal on. Proper downshifting, slowing down, stop within 2 feet of the stop line. Checking your traffic both directions. When it is clear, proceed across. In this case, we are making square turns so that the trailer does not encroach on any lines in the center of the highway. Do not make lazy turns. The idea is the trailer tires do not touch a white line on the right, center line on the left at any time during the road test, if at all possible. Showing it from the other direction, again, turn signal is on. Checking the mirrors, bringing the vehicle to a stop behind the stop line. The vehicle in gear, and making our turn to the left. Again, cautious that the back tires do not touch the center line. Cancel the turn signals once the vehicle is going straight. If you're making a left turn onto a 4-lane highway, when it's clear, you turn into the left lane. Do not turn into the right lane. Accelerate. Do not sit in one gear waiting to get over. Just keep accelerating as normal. As soon as it is safe to pull to the right, go ahead and pull over to the right. Make sure that you place your turn signal on after the last vehicle has passed you. And then when it's safe to do so, pull into the right lane, completing your turn. Make sure that if there's an obstacle like this ahead, you have done it before you get there. Again, we have our left turn signal on. We're using a larger vehicle in this case. The idea again is the trailer tires do not touch the center line when we make this turn. Use as much room to the right as possible, as long as you keep the vehicle on the road. Again, cancel your turn signal once the entire vehicle is going in the new direction. Hand movement or hand placement is very, very important. Do not drive with your hand on the gear shift, one hand on the wheel. Keep 2 hands on the wheel at all times. The only time you can take your right hand off the wheel is to do the actual shifting. As you can tell, we're not doing that right here. Make sure that you try to drive with 2 hands on the wheel, except to do the actual shifting. Railroad crossing, at least 100 feet, not more than 300, have your 4-ways on. Stop within 15 to 50 feet. Look both directions, place the vehicle in gear. You may not shift at any time while you cross the tracks. Do not cancel the 4-way flashers until the vehicle is entirely across the tracks. Then again, you will check your mirrors, making sure the traffic is behind you. On a narrow lane like this, keep the vehicle centered. Be cautious to watch any road signs. Also watching the mirrors once you cross any kind of a bridge or anything such as this. Again, we're going to show this to you. If you notice the road sign to your right, it says weight limit. Be cautious that you do not go across any bridges while not support the weight of the vehicle. The reason I point this out is you are going to be required at some point along the road test to explain what a sign or a bridge underpass or something like this was. It's a bridge underpass, the clearance of the bridge. In this case, we're looking at road signs and possible hazards. Big trees up here, the low-hanging trees. Also around the corner, you will see that there's another obstacle to be very careful of, and that is people parked on the side of the road. In this case, you have 2 vehicles and 2 people talking. Check all the signs as you go along. Anytime you pass a sign, the examiner may ask you what the sign just said. Be cautious to observe any speed limits or curves. As you can see in that little bit of a clip, there are quite a few road signs. You may have been required to point out each one or just 1 or 2 of those by your examiner. Always be cautious of what's around you. Check both left and right mirrors. I hope that this video will help to prepare you to take the skills test for your state. Just remember, with a little bit of practice, watching this video, and also using your state's handbook, as long as you know how to handle the vehicle, you have no trouble whatsoever passing the test. Good luck, and thank you.
All right, guys, now we want to make sure that we check our battery box. Remember, the battery box itself has to be properly mounted, secured, and cannot be moved.